just about set for football now here at Lumen Field in Seattle. Today, a good battle in the NFC. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks.
Please welcome your 2026 Seattle Seahawks. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Mike Tirico along with Greg Olsen. That is Jake Elliott getting this one started. Off we go from Lumen Field. And that one is through the back of the end zone. It is a touchback. Here comes the Seattle offense to take over for the first time. They're led out by the number 3 overall pick back in the 2018 draft. Out of USC, it's Sam Darnold.
If he's going to lead his team to a win, he has to be smart with his decision-making. The last thing you want to do is give the opposing team an extra possession solely because you got reckless with the ball. As long as he is calculated with those risks, I think they have a good chance today coming out on top.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield. A gain of 14. Good for a quick first down.
We met with these coaches during the week, Mike. They told us the emphasis this week about getting the run game going early, and we see it here. Nice first play pickup, fresh set of downs.
We'll keep it on the ground and keep it with Walker.
I think the back just needs to be a little bit more decisive in the run game, and not everything is always going to be perfectly blocked, Mike. There's times where you just have to say, okay, let's get back past the line of scrimmage, pick up a couple yards, and just keep this ball going forward.
On second down, it's Darnold. Off-balance throw, it's complete. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line. They'll have the first down. It's a gain of 28.
First down. First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Darnold now to throw. Complete to the forward Buckeye, Jackson Smith-Njigba. And he's close to another first down. He's brought down just shy of the marker.
It's a gain of 8.
Here's second and 2.
At the 15-yard line.
Straight ahead, it's Walker. And he will score! Kenneth Walker. Touchdown, Seattle. And that is the way to start a game. Not just score, but Greg, score quickly. A nice opening drive for the first 6 points.
Well, it seems like the hour spent on that opening game script was time well spent. I mean, to take the ball right down the field that quickly, right out of the gates, that's a pretty good opening drive and an early 6 points.
After the TD, Myers comes on now to kick it away. Here comes Will Shipley on the return. Good job in coverage. They're going to get him down short of the 20-yard line. So the Philadelphia offense set to take over for the first time. They're led out by the MVP of Super Bowl 59 at quarterback, Jalen Hurts.
Now, this is the type of quarterbacks that just give defensive coordinators nightmares. They stay up all night thinking, okay, what is the best way to defend him? Do we treat him as a runner? Do we treat him as a passer? And I think that's really where the most stress comes in, Mike, is you want to make sure you don't let him kill you with his legs downfield as a runner, but it's also his ability to extend plays as a passer that really creates a lot of stress on your back-end coverage, and that's where those big plays can come. So it's a big challenge. They know it, and we'll find out early on what the plan is.
He was looking for his tight end, Dallas Goedert, that time. And it'll be third down. From the shotgun, it's Hurts. The open receiver is Dotson. 17 yards on that connection. Good for an Eagles first down.
A gain of 17 yards.
These third down conversions are just so important. Like everybody stresses, we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on third down.
That's done. It's the tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. A gain of 21 on that pass play. First down, Philadelphia. Again, Hurts. That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete. Reek Woolen that time. Good coverage, and he breaks it up.
Solid rep there for this corner, Mike. I mean, to stay disciplined with his technique throughout the entire play. So often we see when the ball's put in the air, the defender can panic, and they either get a pass interference or they misplay the ball. This time he times it perfectly and forces the incompletion.
That's 2 catches on this drive. This one for 23 yards.
And while it ultimately worked out for him this time, Mike, this is not a throw he wants to make a habit of, because that was risky. When he threw it, I thought that ball was being picked. I think he got away with one here, results in a big pickup, and get a fresh set of downs.
On play action, Hurts. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up second down. Hurts again. Here's a shot toward the end zone. That is caught. What a throw. Devontae Smith. Touchdown, Eagles.
And what a response by this offense. It's not easy taking the field, Mike, for the first time in the game, and you find yourself already down a score. They watch their opponent kind of march down the field and score in the opening possession, and they're able now to go out and square it on up. Allows you to take a deep breath, maybe get a little confidence for your defense to go out and get a stop, and they come over with this extra point. We got ourselves a tie ball game.
Elliott, good on the extra point. And the Eagles come right back to tie it at 7. Each team one possession, each team a score. 7-7 as they kick it off. Corey Horton now to return it. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense ready now for their second drive. All even here in this opening quarter. And the drive will begin with first down. Off the bootleg. Here's Darnold. That one incomplete. The defender right there to make the play. And it's second down.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it. But I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
Throwing on second down. Darnold. And he let him a bit too much. The pass is incomplete.
Third and long obviously isn't an ideal situation to be in offensively. It makes you very predictable, which then places a ton of stress on your offensive line and your quarterback. So they've got to start being more productive in these early downs and set themselves up for more success come third down.
Got a man at corner, the tight end. 20 yards on that pass play. First down, Seattle.
You know, Mike, these crossing routes, you just see them being used more and more often. And really, it's because it's good against any defense. And what it does is it creates separation. It allows some of your best players to catch the ball on the move. And that short throw oftentimes turns into a long run.
Off the play fake. Here's Darnold. In trouble, and he's going to be taken down. Jordan Davis getting through there to drop him for a loss of 6.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
Here's Darnold. That's caught. It's Kenneth Walker. And he's not going to be able to get away. defense on the perimeter. It'll be a loss of yardage.
To play corner in this league, Mike, you have to have great reactions and instincts. In this case, he trusts those instincts from the jump, and he's able to send the offense going backwards as a result.
On 3rd and long, here's Darnold. Shaheed with the catch, and he's going to be brought down. And with that tackle, we hit the end of the first quarter of play. So it's 4th down. The Seahawks send out the Aussie Michael Dixon to punt. Britton Covey deep for the Eagles. And that one not returnable, out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. Devontae Smith and the rest of the Philly offense heading back onto the field. They'll work in a tie game here in the second quarter and get started with 1st and 10. On play action, here's Hurts. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up 2nd down.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
First carry for Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this past the 25, out to the 27. A pickup of 7.
A gain of 8 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Now a 3rd and 2. They'll fake the give. Now it's Hurts. And that is incomplete. Contact occurred just as the ball was arriving. There are no flags. It's 4th down.
And that's exactly how you teach it. They want these defenders to time the hit, that right when the ball gets there, you separate the receiver from the ball. And those are the ones on offense, man. You just have to make that catch, Mike. I know it's easier said than done, but you know the hit's coming. You've got to squeeze that thing, brace for impact, and make that play for your offense.
He's got this complete. That's Smith. And he's going to have an Eagles 1st down. They come up with a big one there to keep the drive moving, and then some.
And it's hardly an exaggeration when I say, Mike, that he's probably one of the most difficult individual assignments in the entire league. It's like playing football against that really good kid in your neighborhood. He's just hard to cover, and plays like this, it just shows how special he can be.
Off the play fake, Hurts. He'll let one go down the middle. That is incomplete. No way to force the football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down. To the air again. Hurts. And they're going to get to him and take him down. Taken back to the other side of midfield.
If you're going to take a sack, you just can't add to it by taking such a massive loss on top of it. Understand when the pocket breaks down, move up, cut your losses. Now, not only do you lose that down, but now you face a big uphill battle if you want to extend this drive.
And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag comes in. That might make this a 1st down.
Automatic 1st down.
Play action. Here's Hurts. And that time, the pressure too much. He'll go down.
The defensive coaches, they preached all week, Mike. They have to have relentless pursuit of this quarterback when he tries to extend the play. So often it results in a great play for the offense and a big pickup. This time, because of that pursuit, it leads to a big loss.
Now Jalen Hurts on 2nd down. That one's incomplete. Good coverage there. Made it uncomfortable for the receiver. Couldn't hang with it, and it brings up third down. A shotgun snap now to Hurts. That's taken in by Dotson. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line.
It's a gain of 29.
They get the conversion in a big way. That's good for 29 yards.
That's about as big time as you get. There's a saying, Mike, that you really judge your quarterback by his ability to operate not only on third down, but what they call third and pass, meaning it's such a long down and distance, they have no choice but to air the ball.
And he's into the end zone. Jahan Dotson. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Mike, this is a great example of a wide receiver who just truly understands the concept of spacing. When you're open, stay open. If you're not open, get open. And when you can do that and operate in the middle of the field, man, you are such a weapon and a reliable target for your quarterback. It's a great example of it here. He works to stay open, middle of the field, ball's on target. It's an easy touchdown.
So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. On the return, it's Rashid Shaheed. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense getting set to get back to work. They trail now 14-7 as they'll come up for 1st and 10. This drive starts on the ground with Walker. I don't think it was going too far either way. Defense right on it. They hold him to no gain.
I know it's easy from up in the booth, Mike, but I think that's one of those zone reads where the quarterback needs to pull it and keep it himself. The defense was clearly keyed on the running back. Not much room in there. No gain.
That's how quick it's Cup on the RPO. And he will not get away. Terrific open field tackle. Gets him down behind the line.
Certainly not how they drew it up for his first catch of the game, but he's on the board, and I think the hope is continue to go his way, and next time, let's try to pick up some yards.
It is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, here's Darnold. And this ball incomplete on 3rd down.
I'd say one of the most critical elements of a dynamic offense, Mike, is how efficient are you on 3rd down. It's something these teams stress all week. Here's an opportunity to continue to extend this drive. The defense wins this time and brings up 4th down.
On the return, it's Covey. And he'll be brought down, short return, and they'll take over there. The Eagles offense headed back to take over once more. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10.
Set.
Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. He'll get this complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45. That's the way to get started, a pickup of 17 and a very quick 1st down.
This is such a critical moment in the game, that middle 4 minutes, the final 2 minutes of the first half, and then the possession to come out of the halftime break. So maximizing this possession here before halftime is critical. See if you can get a drive starter. See if you can get an easy completion to kickstart a 2-minute mode. And that's what they got here. Now they got to see if they can go down and steal some points.
Jahan Dotson was the intended receiver there. And it'll bring up 2nd down. To throw is Hurts. That's thrown right side, but incomplete.
Back in the day, Mike, you know how they decided who played offense and who played defense? The guys who caught the ball better played offense, and the guys who couldn't play defense. And now that's obviously not the case anymore. But this is one of those that still gives defensive players a bad rap.
Reek Woolen that time. Good coverage, and he breaks it up.
Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way.
He's got this one complete to Goddard. And he's going to have the Eagles first down. Gain of 13 as they convert by a good 3 yards on that 4th and long.
And now you can see they're really getting in rhythm in this 2-minute drive. Now, after that last completion, Mike, they cross midfield. Now the mindset goes to, all right, we got to come away with some points. They've got a quarterback who's in complete control, and they got to see if they can finish this thing off.
That one down the field, but they cannot connect, and it's incomplete. He was looking for A.J. Brown that time, and it'll lead to a 2nd down. Hurts will try it again. And that one's incomplete, but a late flag comes in. Looks like he might have gotten there early.
Automatic first down.
So they move inside the 20, 1st and 10 at the 18. To throw is Hurts. This one is caught by Dotson. And he's close to another first down. He's brought down just shy of the marker. He has really thrown the ball well here in this first half. Look at the numbers. Over 200 yards passing now for the game. Now it's 2nd and 1. One final throw before the break. To the goal line and in. Saquon Barkley. Touchdown, Eagles.
Touchdown, Eagles.
And that's a bit of a gamble, but I really like the aggressive play call. Understanding here before the half, we don't want 3. We're trying to come away with 6, and he forgoes the field goal try. They take a shot in the end zone, and they come away with a touchdown.
And the kick is good. So what a finish to this first half as they extend the lead. Okay, Mike. And instead, why don't we get right back to it as we'll get ready for the 3rd quarter. Pretty interesting first half. We'll see if any strategy changes for the next 30 minutes or more as the second half gets underway. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense ready to get going again. They'll have it first in this 3rd quarter. The lead is a couple of touchdowns as this drive kicks off 1st and 10. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. That's caught left side by Goddard. And he's going to be out of bounds just beyond midfield. It's a gain there of 26 yards.
First down.
Great.
26 yards. And an Eagle
Hurts
first down.
working in the pistol. A pass caught by Saquon. And they'll take this down inside the 35. How about this sequence to start the drive? Back-to-back good gains, 19 for this one.
And this is so much of the skill sets that we're seeing around the league at the running back position. You don't want to have to sub your running back off the field, Mike, when you build what they call these empty or 5-wide sets. Can you keep your running back and run true receiver routes and be a threat? Because when you can, there's a lot of big plays to be made.
It picks up 25 yards and gives them a golden opportunity. It's 1st and goal. So it took just 3 plays, but just like that, they have 1st and goal. Here's Barkley. He'll get maybe a yard down to the 4-yard line.
He was brought down at the 4-yard line. I'll pick up with 2.
Inside the 5, it is 2nd and goal. Saquon. is into the end zone for an Eagle touchdown.
You can just see the comfort, Mike, that this offense continues to play with. The early momentum in the first half has carried here after the break, and you can see this group just slowly starting to pull away.
And I'm thinking, Greg, about the guys on the other side. You're waiting at halftime, that other offense waiting to get back on the field. What happens? They come right out, extend the lead, and now the task gets a lot tougher for this second half. So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Shaheed now to return it. They'll get this up past the 20. That's where they'll set up shop. The Seahawks offense getting ready for their opening possession of this second half. They find themselves down 3 touchdowns here, needing to flip the script in a hurry. And they'll start it here on first down. Outright Smith and Jigba has it. Needs to be marked down up around the 33.
It's a gain of 11. And the Seahawks first down.
On the handoff, this is Walker. And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain. From the 33, here's second down and 9. Here's a designed run.
They went to the designed quarterback run, and there just wasn't a lot of space for the quarterback to operate. You could see him kind of waiting for some of the blocks to develop. Never transpired. Didn't get a whole lot going. Short game.
Smith in Jigba, the man in motion. Throwing on third down is Darnold. Oh, nice open field tackle there. He could not get free. They're going to stop him for no gain.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started.
Here comes the Philly offense now as they make their way back onto the field. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. The receiver is Dotson. And he's going to get this to the 37-yard line. Terrific day throwing the ball, and the numbers now show it over 300 yards passing in this one.
First down. It's a gain of 17 yards.
Line of scrimmage is the 37-yard line for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Hurts. He'll get that out to Barkley. And he can't get away. They rally to the football defensively. Bring him down for no gain.
Second and 10 at the 37-yard line.
To throw on second down is Hurts. That one down the field, but it is incomplete.
How often do we see teams kind of nurse these big leads, Mike, especially as the game unfolds? They turn to the ground game. They try to slow everything down. Well, not this offense. They refuse to take their foot off the gas. They're still mining for explosive plays, and frankly, with the way today's gone, I don't blame them.
That gets him to 100 yards exactly after that reception and gets his team a first down.
Third downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
He throws right side down the field, and it is brought in.
15 more.
So, 3 quarters have come and gone. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. First and 10.
Great.
Hurts again. And he can't hang on through the contact. Incomplete Good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. It'll bring up second down. Again, Hurts. Looking down the field there, but it falls incomplete.
Well, we all know the running joke, right, Mike? If this guy could catch, he'd be playing offense. And, well, I think that's kind of a joke for the past. These defensive players are incredible these days. That's just too easy. You've got to secure that interception for your defense and get off the field.
Hurts finding Smith, and an Eagle. First down.
You just love to see this effort, especially on third down. You understand, you want to keep this possession alive. You have to do everything in your power sometimes to bail out your quarterback, and it's exactly what he does here, and it brings up a fresh set of downs.
Space getting tight here, down to the 13-yard line. They work first and 10. They'll run it here with Saquon. He did not want to go down there. Carrying tacklers, it's a gain of 9.
So when you're evaluating the impact of a team's run game, I think it's important at the end of the game to look back and say, okay, how many yards did they run for? But more importantly, when did those yards come? Did I run for those yards in the fourth quarter, which typically means I had to lead? That's the sign of a successful run game, as opposed to getting a lot of meaningless yards early in the game.
And he will score again. Saquon Barkley, touchdown Philadelphia. That is his third touchdown of the afternoon. And that touchdown probably, Greg, ends any small hopes of a comeback on the other side.
Yeah, and I think those chances, Mike, were small to begin with, but with that last score, I think this one is pretty much over.
The extra point by Elliott is good. And the Eagles will open it up even further here in this fourth quarter. So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Showing off the big leg. Didn't want to defend a return, so this ball going to be spotted at the 35-yard line. The Seahawks offense ready to get back at it. They'll do so with first and 10.
We got we working. Reset.
And he is out of bounds at the 45. It's a nice start to the drive, a gain of 10 and a quick first down.
That's good for a Seahawks first down.
We're going to set.
First and 10 at the 40.
Darnold now on first and 10. And that is caught on the right sideline, but it's out of bounds, says the official, who was right there. Not the most accurate pass. It's incomplete, and it's second down.
Well, it's going to go down as an incompletion, but it wasn't from a lack of effort. I mean, he did everything in his power to try to get both feet in bounds. The pass just took him a little bit too close to the sideline, and he just wasn't able to save the play.
Taken in right side by Barner. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short. Here's third down and a few inches. They'll go with the sneak. And he will have the Seahawks first down, maybe by about a yard, as they find a way to convert on third and inches.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Operating from the gun, it's Darnold. There's a short one taken in by Barner. He's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
Brings up second and 8 at the Eagles 42.
Off the play fake, here's Darnold. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up third down.
A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short gain.
This is third and 6.
We're going to set. Reset.
Rocking out of the gun, it's Darnold. Got a man, that's Warner. Oh, he doesn't put it away, and the ball's out. The Eagles have it. And so much for a nice gain through the passing game. Not finishing the play, fumbling the football, and the offense has turned it over, Greg.
Mike, give credit to the defender here for not quitting on this play. They just give up a chunk play in the passing game. He stays after it.
And remember now, all turnovers have to be verified by a replay, so they might be taking a look at this one.
Previous play is under review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the runner was down, and that will not be a fumble. 2 minutes remain in the fourth quarter. Greg and I back on EA Sports after this. Down at the 12. It's 1st and 10. The run up the middle, it's Walker. Fighting for the goal line. They're going to stop him just short, but he has picked up the first down.
What a great run down here inside the red zone, Mike. It's so important that you still can run the ball. Great job here by the back. I thought for a minute he was going to score. He gets it all the way down inside the one, and I wouldn't be surprised if they let him finish this drive off. A little surprising to see them keep the ball on the ground, especially given the situation, Mike. I mean, you're trailing. You haven't had a lot of success running the ball up until this point. They need chunk plays. They need to score, and they need to score fast.
It is brought in the end zone. Cooper, up, touchdown, Seahawks.
At this stage of the game, the score is really irrelevant. You want to try to build something positive towards the end of this game, and I think that score will help do just that.
Myers, good on the extra point. And the Seahawks are able to cut into the deficit. So the late score gets them a bit closer to respectability. They'll try to get even closer with an onside kick.
You have no choice. You find yourself down big here late in the fourth quarter, Mike. You got nothing to lose. Give it a shot. Nice job here by the hands team recovering. They're going to take over possession.
On first down, it's Hurts. Oh, falling away. What a throw. He drops it in there. And he'll take this one in. Dallas Goedert. Touchdown, Eagles. That is yet another touchdown pass. What a game he is having, throwing his 4th touchdown score of the game.
It's one thing, Mike, to throw 4 touchdowns, but it's really the ease in which he's carved this defense up that has stood out the most. The defense has had no answers for this passing game, and he has just completely had his way with this group.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. This one is going to sail through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Seattle offense as they get ready for their next possession. They'll begin with 1st and 10. Off the play fake, it's Darnold. Looked like one of the Seahawks was in there and did keep the ball with Seattle.
And they should consider themselves lucky. You can't let a pass rusher through that quickly and not expect there to be consequences. Fortunately, they're at least able to fall on it and prevent this from being a complete disaster.
He's got room past the 35. And it looks like he's going to come up just short of the first down. Out of bounds, a yard shy of what they needed. Have to pick it up on third down.
So often, sacks, especially on first down, can be drive killers. But their ability here to take this from second and long to third and short, they've got a really good opportunity here, Mike. If they don't get it on third, I'd be surprised if they go for it on fourth. Well, this seems pretty straightforward. 3rd and 1, just dial up a run play and run straight downhill. But this defense had other plans. They were ready and expecting that run, and they're able to take the ball carrier down for a loss.
Only need a yard, and it's 4th down. They'll try it now with Walker. And he will have the Seahawks first down. And he got it by plenty. It's a gain of 8 on 4th and 1.
Seahawks first down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
So it's a win here for the visiting Eagles. They're able to get the job done in front of a hostile crowd as they come away with the victory. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone.